place at a World Economic Forum Davos event.
When you look at your cryptographic status as a bank, as a government, as a telco, yes, you're future-proofing yourself for quantum, but you're also helping yourself today for attacks against ransomware, right? And so this is a dual positive that's happening right now in the cybersecurity world. Cryptography was never really looked at that carefully. People looked at firewalls, people looked at malware, viruses, worms. You heard a lot about that. But now it's time to look at cryptography as a core part of cybersecurity, both for today's attacks, ransomware, AI-driven ransomware, and for the attack that is literally guaranteed to come.
And on that, I've got two comments. The first one is that we have been hearing about a global cyber attack for probably over a year now, and I believe that they have been preparing us for some kind of event that will enable the global economy to have a very good excuse to make a very quick transition into a economic system that probably won't look too much different than today's to the consumer. However, the underlying tech that new system would actually operate on will be a polar opposite of what it is right now. And the other quantum topic on the first episode of the new Black Mirror is about a quantum computer creating alternate and fake realities while everyone thinks they're in the real world and they call the original reality the source. Here we got some information from IBM itself, and it is talking about quantum safe cryptography. We've also got a lot of information that is coming out of the BIS, where they are talking about AI and quantum technology. So here they are collaborating with central banks at the vanguard of developments in AI. The quantum computing future is being integrated one day at a time. All tech will be required to comply and adapt to quantum tech, which will go hand in hand with the new financial system. And I have talked about the exact image, it was probably a long time ago now, but the exact same kind of pictures about quantum tech are coming out of IBM. And AI will accelerate the development of quantum tech. Is it a conversation that you think you're ready for? It may be the topic. It tops the list of the 10-year plan. And that is talking about Q-Day, which is the day that current encryption is broken by quantum computers, which could happen within the next 10 years. And at the point we're at now, it's probably about half of that at best. And at this point, we are in a quantum proofing conversation point of the timeline, because the whole idea of quantum computing has been put out there and it has largely been accepted at this point. Here it is talking about HSBC, Amazon Web Services, not sure who BT is off the top of my head, and Toshiba to quantum proof data before Q-Day. And HSBC, Amazon, and Toshiba all have ties into cryptos such as XRP, HBAR, and Casper, just as a few examples. And one of the points I thought was extremely interesting is that cold storage crypto hardware might not be as safe as we think. Now, there are probably options out there that use biometric confirmation, such as Decent, that would hold up a bit longer. And here is a bit more on that from Ledger itself in their terms and conditions. And it essentially says that with advancements in technology, it could result in the theft or loss of crypto assets, and they cannot be held accountable if you are hacked. So we've got a lot more coming out of the Bank of International Settlements on that around quantum proofing again. How can the cryptographic algorithms that protect today's financial system be safeguarded from future quantum computing? Project Leap, and here's a bit more on that. They are explaining how its success paves the way for the BIS to build a complete chain of trust for central bank applications, acting as a blueprint for the financial system. Unfortunately, it has a song in the background, so this project is concentrating on quantum proofing and aims to address the potential threat that quantum computers could pose to existing cryptography. It involves development of quantum-safe cryptography and the analysis of vulnerabilities in the current financial infrastructure. And here is the information on this that is on the BIS site, and we can see the same kind of quantum hardware imagery as we can about IBM. It comes up again and again. Here is the PDF on it. It does not call out any names in particular, and in all honesty, it's a pretty dry read, so if you're interested in that, it is not hard to find. However, I won't be going into it in detail here at this time. So now I want to talk about how the actual cryptos and the crypto companies that I often talk about are involved. So here we have an article on Ripple's homepage about blockchain and quantum technology being unregulated. Quantum tech will threaten blockchain, and there is a need for urgent high-level principles to be established, mainly because there is an increase of tokenization, especially around tokenization of real-world assets. And just as a quick note, I think that the non-blockchain networks such as Hedera and Constellation, which are directed acyclic graphs, DAGs, might be a bit more quantum resistant as compared to a traditional chain. And here we have a bit more on IBM and XLM and XRP and Ripple's partner Medico that is concentrating on custody. I won't get into this entire topic at all. trust me, I have a lot of opinions, and I have some political activism experience in the past around that, but that is a conversation to be had at a different time and on a different platform. We've got more on IBM, untapped potential for a cross-border payments network, and that is actually directly calling out IBM WorldWire and XLM. Here is another one that is about 2 years newer, that is talking about Ripple's partner Medico, and it says that IBM's confidential computing division has been a reliable partner throughout the years, and they are pleased to complement Medico's catalog of institutional cold storage solutions with the unique air-gapped cold storage that OSO enables. And here we just have a reminder that they were in fact acquired by Ripple about 1 year ago now. And this does tie back into the financial institutions that they are connected to as well. So they are developing new capabilities. Here is an interesting comment from David Schwartz in 2022. The XRPL is not quantum resistant. It could be made so, but at that point in time, the results would kind of suck because the quantum resistant algorithms we all know of have painful disadvantages in blockchain applications. His current thought is that we monitor what is happening and implement the best quantum resistant algorithms whenever it appears that it looks to be within about 5 years. And that was about 2 years ago, and with the announcements that we just talked about involving people who Ripple is associated with, it would appear as if that is approaching. Now, I did find a couple of interesting ties into the government and how they are involved in it as well. So here we've got DARPA and a quantum computing breakthrough. Here is the article, and it does not directly call out IBM, but I would have a hunch that there are ties into that. Here is a report about the plan around quantum information science, and it comes from the Quantum Coordination Office from October of 2020. And I believe that this has ties into the Space Force, but it does have some interesting things that are calling out cryptography. And here is a thing that I haven't really been able to tell how true it is, but this does come from the OSGov site if you search for quantum financial system. And if you go down to this page here, it has the US Department of Treasury on it. And it does look as if it has gone through the OCC and the Department of Treasury as well. And here it becomes a little interesting. In preparation for the global currency reset and arrival of the quantum financial system currently running parallel, any international financial activity regulated by their respective agencies must comply with no tolerance to all protocol and regulations in the International Quantum Initiative Act, passed by the U.S. House and approved by the UN and USMCA, formerly known as. And we have a bit more information on that act here, and that takes us to a quantum.gov site. So it does appear as if things have been moving in this direction for about 5 years now. And here we've got a embossed seal on the form, and it appears as if it actually did get processed by the US government. And that might have just meant that they received this, checked it, and processed it, and it is only a way to compile information. However, I cannot either confirm or deny the accuracy of any of this at this point in time.